Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again, and welcome to The Roads with Belle. Today is August 21st, and we're going down the roads to Trump's Peace Prize desires, and the roads to Trump's 6 or maybe 7 peace deals. Trump recently bemoaned the lack of coverage about the 6 wars he ended. Well, allow us to rectify that and provide the coverage the president desperately craves. It's a claim Trump and his team has repeatedly made. He's ended 6 wars. When you ask his supporters, they'll quickly repeat the line. They'll tell you he stopped 6 wars, and that's why he deserves the Nobel Prize. A handful of them can actually name a few of the conflicts in question. On the other side of the aisle, there are questions about what he's even talking about. Part of that is because a lot of the conflicts aren't well known, and partly because those who do know about them are, let's say, confused by Trump's claims. So, we're going to go through the list of conflicts he says he stopped, and just kind of check in on the progress. Many of you will be unsurprised to find out that his deals have been as successful as the Abraham Accords. Y'all remember when they brought peace to the Middle East forever? Okay, and we're starting off with Armenia and Azerbaijan. This conflict goes back to the 1980s, and there's significant doubt about whether or not the peace will hold. But Trump, in this case, kind of accepted foreign policy as it is. It's not about morality, it's about power, right? In true Trump fashion, he used money and a trade corridor that has been talked about for about half a decade. He slapped his name on it, acted like it was his idea, and pushed it through. However, Trump had Armenia give the U.S. developmental rights for 99 years. That's the transactional nature of Trump's foreign policy. What's the problem? The land in question backs up to Iran. Iran has said they won't allow it. Rather than bring lasting peace, there's a high probability that he created yet another friction point with Iran, and that Iran will use non-state actors to hit U.S. developments, if they actually occur. But honestly, that's just foreign policy. This is not great. It isn't something guaranteed to bring peace forever. But this isn't horrible if you're looking at it from the perspective of wanting to embed the U.S. further in the Middle East. I know most people watching this don't want that, but there are some people who do, and they're the people who Trump caters to. And yes, I know this region isn't the Middle East, but the friction point created relates to the Mideast. Okay, moving on to Cambodia and Thailand. They agreed to an unconditional ceasefire in July, under pressure from Trump, who threatened to yank trade. This seemed like a genuine attempt from the administration. How'd it work out? Well, Thai officials are reportedly accusing Cambodia of using civilians to invade their territory, and China has stepped in to try to actually get a real peace. I feel like this should go without saying, but if another country has to go in and play cleanup, maybe your peace deal wasn't complete. Next up is the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda peace agreement. This was a big one that the right really leaned into. Well, it's a failure. Since it was signed on June 27th, things have deteriorated. Between the 9th and 21st of July, hundreds of local farmers, including women and children, were attacked. More than 300 were lost. It's actually flaring up. Various sides are accusing each other of breaking the peace. And while Trump's administration was claiming it as a win, IS, an organization Trump once claimed he defeated, launched a major attack. One of the major deadlines for 2 of the factions to reach a peace agreement passed without an agreement, and the peace talks appear to be suspended. I don't even think Trump understood who all the players were, much less the conflict. Okay, now let's look at India and Pakistan. Trump said he brokered a ceasefire. India says he didn't. It's worth noting this is another conflict that is incredibly old and isn't over. They're just on a break. Trump said he got the deal by offering trade concessions. India said they have no clue what he's talking about. It's foreign policy. Everybody lies. I'm willing to leave the door open to the idea that maybe this time Trump is telling the truth about the trade pressure. But at most, it was helpful influence, not some major diplomatic event. Nor was it the deciding factor that stopped the war from spreading. That would have been the fact that both India and Pakistan are nuclear powers. Then we have Iran and Israel. This isn't so much a failure as just plain imaginary. Iran never stopped its non-state actor campaign, and Israel was publicly saying they would continue striking anytime they wanted to. Also, keep in mind that, Trump bombed Iran. Generally, you don't get peacemaker points using the B-2. That's 5 of them. The next 2 are even more of a stretch. The other 2 that get referenced are from his first term. Serbia Kosovo. Because people are confusing an economic agreement signed in 2020 for a ceasefire for a conflict that had already ended long before. I know this because I got sent over in support of U.S. operations in the 90s. And then the other is between Egypt and Ethiopia. Some in his administration think he should get credit for this even though there was never a peace agreement, because there was never a war. But they think he should get credit because they claim there would have been a war without him. Incidentally, Ethiopia actually accused him of trying to incite a war with his bizarre comments about a dam on the river that today is still a source of tension. Given the lack of follow-up from the U.S. in, all of these, it seems like Trump is treating diplomacy as a media event, rather than a painstakingly tedious process with lots of details and considerations, far beyond sign this and say you'll stop fighting. So there you go. There's his peace deals being covered. Unfortunately for Trump, it was covered with a little more information, a little more context, and having the right information will make all the difference. Y'all have a good day.